Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Wednesday, June 19th. And what are we going to be talking about this morning? Well, one of you had mentioned, seeing that, we were a warranty shop for Generac. And not only a warranty shop for Generac, but there's a number of others. Uh, Stay tuned and we'll talk more about that. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it, and this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Wednesday, the 19th of June, and it's available on podcast as well. So today we're going to talk about generators, and basically there are three types of generators, okay? You have the portable, the invert, and the standby. And the ones we see the most, right, are going to be the portable, which can be the big square ones, even right up to 10,000, kilowatts or 10,000 watt generators. And then the standbys are the ones you see mounted outside somebody's home that are mounted to a fuel source, connected to a fuel source, and it takes care of itself. It senses when the power goes off, it comes on. When the power comes back on, it senses that and then turns it back off. It goes back to regular electricity, right, coming in from the poles. Those are great if you want hands-free. They tend to be a little bit more, and they should be on a yearly maintenance, plan of coming out, and if you don't want to do it, the oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, what have you. And they have the different types of fuels, like you have propane, you have regular gas, they have the diesel ones, natural gas. But I know the one that burns the cleanest is, of course, propane for us up here. And what I've heard from the people that have got the standbys and went with propane, if they were out of power for 4 to 5 days, it would drain one of the, round cylinder tanks. I think they're like 100-gallon or something like that. So they do use up, propane in a hurry. But, with gas, you see, that's not part of the system because that's something that you try to keep stable over long periods of time. So the general drift is either propane, natural gas, or diesel. Those are the three that most installers want to put in. All right, so the portables, on the other hand, they call them portables because you can move them around from place to place or take them camping or what have you. And some have wheels, some don't, some have a box frame. Some come in what I call the pocket, the suit cases there that you see a lot with the RVs and the campers because they're really quiet compared to a typical generator portable. But most of us that have got the portables that we use for putting the electricity back on when the power goes out are somewhere around anywhere from 5,500 watts and up, all right? I think I've got the 8,500 one in my garage, and Claude's got the 95. Don't quote me on this. So And then the third one. And then you have the inverter generators, which you see a lot on RVs, boats, and their claim to fame basically is they're a lot better unit for like specialized, like for laptops, computers, specialized electronics, and converting it to electricity. Well, you were asking about, being a warranty shop for Generac. We're not only a warranty shop for Generac, we're for Homelight, Champion, Ryobi. That's just to name some of them off the top of my head. I know there's more there, but we don't do Portacable. And Honda, because I give up the Honda dealership part a few years back. But what I can tell you is the good, bad, and ugly when it comes to generators and their uses. All right. Now, with your portable generators, this is where I see, in our area anyways, you got a lot of folks that are going off-grid and they're putting in solar panels, okay? And while they're building their place and getting solar panels out, they're running a generator quite a bit. And what ends up happening is the portable generators are not made for long-term continuous run, right? Right? And I tell these guys, that are doing this, that you can't buy the homeowner's edition. Just like chainsaws and everything else, you have the homeowner's edition and then you have the pro edition. And the pro is made for durability, for long-term run times. That's why they are pro versions. The pro versions are used by contractors that are building homes to, you name it. But that machine gets a lot of hours on it, all right? So if you're going to go off-grid, spend the money, step up to the pro right off the bat. And the pro comes with a warranty, just like all the rest of them. But what we were seeing, with the Generacs, the Champions, the Homelights, all of it, is they would show up at the shop, or a customer would call, a new customer, and say that their generator is having issues, and they saw that we're a warranty shop. Could they bring it down, drop it off for warranty work? And the first thing I asked them is, are you using this for off-grid? Not all of them are going to be truthful, but usually if you come point blank right out of the gate, are you using this as a continuous generator off-grid? And if the answer is yes, then it voids warranties. Because, I had one of the reps came in a few years back, I think it was for Generac, and he was explaining to me, he said the problem is the homeowners edition generators are built to last 100 to 150 hours. And he said that's a lot when you think about it, as far as somebody using it to go camping on the weekends, maybe having it on for a couple hours here or there. And in a pinch to help you get through a power outage, which hopefully doesn't last over a day. So they aren't built, the cylinder walls aren't heavy enough, the pistons, rings, everything is not built the way it is in the Pro Edition. And the Pro Edition is made to run for thousands of hours. But he said the biggest problem is these guys that are off-grid are putting the hours on that unit in a little over a week that they expect that a homeowner will have over a lifetime, and then they cry foul because they lose compression. The valves, they just weren't made for it. That kind of excessive heat and run time. And you try to explain it to these guys, and well, I found it on sale over at Tractor Supply or Lowe's, or all right, what difference does that make? Well, I'll just take it back to them. Well, you can take it back to them, but if they hold their ground, you're in the wrong, and it's not warranty. That's the one big issue with all of them, whether it's a portable. It's how it's used. Now, aside from that, the normal issue we have with generators is putting in, ethanol fuel and letting it sit for long periods of time. And what we try to do for our customers, which is actually taking money out of our pockets, in a way, is we explain to them, here's the shut off. When you're done using it, shut the fuel off, let the generator run itself out till it quits. Then turn it off, and then reverse the process when you need to use it again. And that is turn the fuel on, wait a few minutes, fire it up. That way you're not leaving a lot of crap in the bowl. That's the biggest issue, is getting crap into the bowl, water into the bowl. The fuel stabilizer that we're using right now, the PRI-G, we've seen good results. And I would recommend that for long-term storage and like a gas generator portable. Because really, around here I may get the generator out and run it twice a year for losing power, and it's usually off for like a day or two. Not like the ice storm where we were out of power for 27 or 28 days. So that's one of the big issues that we see coming in with the gas-powered generators, is they're putting the wrong fuel source in, and they're not doing the checklist of when they get ready to power it down to shut the fuel off and let it run itself out. And I don't recommend that you keep your generator full at all times. Better if it's less than half. And that way, if you know that there's a storm coming and you may need it, go buy 5 gallons of fuel. And you're dumping in fresh fuel into the older fuel and kind of regenerating it with the additive. Those are the major issues that we see at the shop, other than, with the engine side. Now, with the power side, other than checking some fuses and seeing if the on and off switch is causing it to not run, or the oil sensor switch that if you have low oil, it doesn't allow it to run. Other than checking those, we don't get too deep into the boards. And we have a family, it's 2 brothers, that run an electric shop. And that's all they do, is the electrical side on a generator, on anything. They take old electric motors and wrap them, rewire them, or whatever, But it was their dad's, and now it's the boys, and the boys are my age. But they won't work on the engine side of it. So it's a nice give and take between the two of us, because we'll take the engine side, you could take the electrical side. Because that's another problem. We get, it runs, but it's not powering up. And you got some fuses you can check on that board itself. You can check pull the panel away to see if any wires got unhooked that could be causing your issue. The biggest no-no is you need for the home, you need to have a certified electrician come in and wire up a box that's got a pull that you can look it up online. But that way, when you do have an issue, it's just simply following a set of steps and doing it correctly, safely. See, you want to see a generator fry. Have it so that you turn the power on. You fire up your generator, and you don't throw the main going back to the power line. One, you could kill a linesman working on those lines that may be down somewhere. And two, when they fire the power back up, it's going to fry your generator. And I'll tell you, it throws sparks. Yep. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. The relationship then is the good, bad, and ugly of having a repair shop or retail and selling the different types of generators. What should we know? You know that you're going to have to be faced with quite a bit. And that is, you need to know how many hours are on that unit. If they're buying a Champion cheapy low-end homeowners model at Tractor Supply or Lowe's, something like that, and they're off-grid, Champion, Generac, HomeLight, any of them will not warranty one that is being used off-grid unless it's the Pro Edition. So you need to, when you're talking to a customer, and some call it upselling, but it's not really upselling. You got to let the customer know, if you sell generators, which we do, is if you buy this one, the low-end homeowners, this is what it's going to cost you. Usually, was it $300 to $500? But it comes with no warranty because I know you're going to use it off-grid. And to get a warranty for it so that you are covered off-grid, we can go with the Pro Series, which most big box stores do not carry or have access to. Let's put you into a Pro Series. Now, a Pro Series can run 2-3 times as much as the homeowner. But I know one person that was off-grid that went through 3 Champion generators in less than 7 months. If he'd taken the money from the 3 that he bought, he could have bought the Pro Series, is what I'm getting at. So you need to convey to your customer that this is actually going to save you money by going with the Pro version. If you're going to use it, even after they get their solar panels up and their homes built, you got to have sunlight, right? And if there's not enough sunlight, the batteries aren't getting charged. So what do you got to do? Fire up that old generator and charge those batteries so it keeps feeding the house, right? The other thing when it comes to retail is what size is best for the homeowner. The biggest thing you need to know if you're selling that product is, what are you going to use it for? If it's weekends camping in a tent or a camper, one of the pancake portables would work great, right? And in a camper, you have the inverter. And if they're going like the hunting camp or this or that, you can go with the smaller Champion. If they're just running, let's say, lights inside the camp, or maybe lights in the refrigerator. Most places that we have there are hunting camps are all on propane. Propane lights, propane refrigerator, propane gas, propane. It's cheaper to run than it is to run a generator. A lot quieter too. The standby market's a pretty good market. We sell the standbys. But what we normally do is we contract out with a local contractor that can put the pad in and do all the electrical hookup. So we get our cut of the sale of the generator, and then they get all the money for actually doing the installation. And that works well for us. You know, some shops do their own custom installs, but Claude and I are not certified electricians, and I want it done by someone that sees it every day and does it right. And the other thing you got to stress to a customer is read the owner's manual. Before you fire that puppy up, here's the owner's manual. And if they're running fuel, gasoline, I'd also throw in on the deal a smaller bottle of PRI G, for the gas. And have them treat their fuel if it's going to sit for extended periods of time. And again, just have them follow the steps of shut the fuel off, let it run out completely, turn the unit off, and then reverse it when you get ready to, where you need it or want to use it. Turn the gas on, wait a few minutes, hit the switch to the on position, either use electric or pull start, and off you go. But like on any warranty, you have to be honest to the customer and to the manufacturer that you're doing the warranty for. Some will slide the off-gridders through as, mechanical failure and rebuild the engine or what have you, but I am who I am. I got to be honest about it. And if it's not a defect with that piece of equipment and it's how it's used, I can't run it through warranty. So on that note, probably you heard more about generators than you want to hear, right? On that note, we'll see you here bright and early Thursday morning, and you guys have a great day.